Blog Talk Radio.
Spreading the love worldwide. www.jesusinthemorningradio.com.
Okay. Can you hear me, Irene?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Is it still very low?
Sorry?
Is the sound low?
Yeah, it's still a little bit low.
Okay.
I still got to strain a bit to hear you.
Oh, wow. Okay, I am going to, because it is very loud over here, very loud. So what I am going to do is check out my sound. Because I'm yelling in here, actually yelling.
Okay.
But,
oh, dear.
Yeah, I'm yelling because I need it loud enough so that you can hear. Now, Irene Alsop is from Holland, and she's a native of Holland, but she's living in Tasmania, Australia. So to test this out this afternoon, I thought I would interview Irene and let her share with us about Holland and about Tasmania. So, Irene, can you tell us what your childhood was like in Holland and bring us up to date when you moved to Tasmania or when you come to Australia, what brought you?
Yes, okay. I I was born just after the war, the Second World War, and my name Irene means peace. So a lot of girls that were born either during the war or after the war were named Irene. So the name was very popular in those days. I was in a classroom and I think 4 of us were called Irene. So I didn't like it at the time, but I did like that my name meant peace. It meant a lot to me, even as I grew up. I really thought I tried to live up by my name, peace. I think that was such a nice name. I grew up in the Netherlands, in Holland. Life is very, very different than in Australia, and I suppose very different than in America. I loved it. I loved my country. I loved there. I lived there. I went there. I went to school there. I had a beautiful mom and dad. I had a brother and a sister who were quite a few years older than me. My brother was 13 years older, and my sister was 16 years older. So I don't think I was planned, but I was very much welcomed. They loved me. I had good mom and dad. I met an Australian when I was 17 years old and fell in love. First time in love. I married him, and we lived there until I was 29. So when I was 29, he was an Australian. He wanted to come back to Australia. And I didn't really want to go because I love my country. My family was there. But I thought I'd give it a go. And we made this deal that if I didn't like it within 2 years, we go back. Well, we went to Australia and I loved it. I didn't want to go back to Holland. It was a good country. It was totally different. I had to learn a lot of different things. There were things I didn't understand, probably things I did wrong because, in those days there was still a bit of prejudice to newcomers. Like my kids had problems at school. They were teased because they were different. They were from another country. So that wasn't easy. But we survived it all. And while living in Australia, I went to work in Sydney. And I had to travel every day, an hour on the train. Like I left home at some 7 in the morning and then to be at work at 9 at night in the city. And at 5 o'clock I finished and I was home at about 7. So that were long days for me. But that's all part of life. I worked after working in the city for that long, I looked for a different job and I worked with juvenile delinquents, which is very interesting. In the beginning, when you do that kind of work, you think you can change everything. You can change those poor children, and that thought disappeared after working there for a long time. Like I didn't have the influence that I thought I would have. I loved my job. I loved the kids. Like for instance, one day we had a 13-year-old girl had to go to court, and she came in and she looked worried, and I talked to her and we sat down for a while, and she went to court and she was let go and go back to her parents. Well, about a year later, that same girl came in. I didn't recognize her. She looked so, so old, so sad. I cried when I saw her, and she cried when she saw me. She'd been prostituting herself to feed her drug habit, and she was only 14 years old, and she looked so sad. That are the things that break your heart. Like, it really, I think after I worked there for 17 years, and after 17 years, I had to get out of my job because I was taking it on board personally sometimes, and that's not a good thing to do because it affects your life. So my husband did the same kind of work. So we decided we moved out of Sydney and we went to Queensland, which is the sunny state. Beautiful Queensland with sunny beaches. We lived in a place called Harvey Bay, and we started a gymnasium there. Well, my husband really, it was his dream, not mine. I'm not into gymnasiums. I should be, but I wasn't. But after even living there for about 10 years, the heat, I couldn't handle the heat. It was too much for me. I'm from a cold country. Sydney was already too warm, and Queensland I could not do. So we moved to where I am now, Tasmania. Best move ever. I should have done that in the beginning. It's absolutely. I think it's the most beautiful spot in the world. We've got everything. We've got mountains, beaches, waterfalls, and the temperature is absolutely beautiful. I belong to a beautiful little Baptist church, a good solid church. It was hard to find as well, because I find these days it is hard to find a good Bible-believing church. A lot of them here go for show, like big stage and big singing and lights flashing, and I really don't think that's what it's about. I want to hear the gospel preached, and I'm very blessed that I found a church here in Tasmania that the gospel is preached as it says in the Bible, from cover to cover, and it's not changed. It doesn't change with time. No, it's not. God's word never changes. It's solid. It's there. So I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. Like I'm active in my church. I'm getting a bit older now. It's sometimes getting a little harder. Sorry, I've got a cold. I've got a cough. But yeah, and then one day I do things on LinkedIn. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. And then one day I got a message from a lady called Barbara Pittman, and she read some of my stuff and said, "Would you be interested to come on my radio show?" And I went, "Whoa, in Florida." I said yes. I was a bit reluctant because I didn't know what I was letting myself into, like what was happening. And she guided me through this, and in the beginning when I did come on the show, I didn't understand a lot. I didn't understand how things work. Not in America, it's so different again. I had to learn a lot. I really didn't understand some of the things, so it took a while for me to learn. And I think I've got it now, and I've been listening to Jesus in the Morning for over a year and a half now. Absolutely love it. I hate it when I can't listen to it because it's hard for me, because it's from 7 till 9 in the morning in in Florida, but it's from 9 till 12 at night in Australia, so that's sometimes a bit hard. I get really a bit tired. But I still listen. I can't stop because it's too good. It's food for my soul. It's especially because it's daily. It's when you go to church, it's once a week, and you have your daily worship yourself. But it's good if you have it together with other people. Like it's good. It's good for the soul, and God blesses this program. I'm sure He's blessed me so much with it, and I'm ever thankful that Miss Barbara Pittman contacted me and said, "You want to come on the show?" Yes, I do, and I can't imagine now my life without it. It just becomes part of my life, and I hope that if anyone would listen to this, that they would do this too. Let it become part of your life. Worship is part of your life. Like prayer is part of your life. I've learned to pray better because my prayer life was okay, just okay. But I've learned so much. Thank you so much. Because it's we pray for each other, not pray for yourself. I did that a bit in the beginning. I didn't know, but I've learned to pray more for others, and it's so much better. Well, that's what we should do. You can still pray for yourself. I do that too in my private time. But when I put a prayer up, it's about us all, like for each other. We care for each other. And I thank the Lord so much for directing my life, giving me new hope. Like sometimes when you get old, I kind of rejected getting old. I couldn't accept it. Like I live in a retirement village now. I'm independent, so I'm still looking after myself. I drive my car. And every time I drive into that driveway and I see aged care and I go, I don't like it. But I have to realize I'm old. So I'm starting to accept it. And it's good. That's the same. We've got a place where we can go and have lunch during the day. It's from that care, It's called Orana. And you can go there and you pay $6 and you get a beautiful meal cooked on the premises by a chef. And you get dessert. And then if you want to stay for some games or activities, you can stay. And you get afternoon tea. There's something really nice with it. And so your day can be filled from 11 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You've got something to do, which is very nice because a lot of people, when they're older, they don't know what to do with themselves. So that's what I do, and I've become a volunteer there. So that means I can help out, and I bring the food around and talk to people and help them in and out the bus. At the moment, they've got to help me. I'm not that good at the moment, but that'll go. That's it in a nutshell. I don't know what else I can talk about. What did I forget? I don't know. I don't know. You know,
okay.
I'm not sorry, go.
You can hear me, Irene?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Tell us about food in Holland when you were a child, and then tell us about the food in Tasmania or Sydney.
Okay, that is so different. Like in Holland, then after the war, there was a food shortage, like of course, and potatoes they could get, and every vegetable they used to be able to get, they mashed it with the potatoes and put a bit of gravy on. So I grew up on mashed potato and kale, mashed potato with carrots and onions, mashed potato with red cabbage. Like, that was table meals, and I loved them. I still love them. But for anyone else, they might be very boring. But for Dutch people my age, they'd be beautiful. Like, I tell you one thing, the cakes in Holland are the best in the world. I'm a connoisseur of cakes. Terrible. But, so then I came to Australia. The food was more English-based. It was, I didn't like a lot of it. I still don't like a lot of it. Like, it's, I don't know. I never got used to some of it. I still, they have a lot of baked dinners. Here, no one boils potatoes. See, I'm used to boiled potatoes. I love boiled potatoes. That's how I grew up. Here, they don't boil potatoes, and the potatoes don't taste the same. You think potatoes are all the same. No way. It's so much different. I haven't found a potato yet that I like here.
Okay.
And then they bake them. Yeah, go on.
Okay, what is a boiled potato?
Pardon?
What is a boiled potato?
Oh, you just peel it and put it in hot water and boil it. Put salt with it. And then it's soft. You take it out and you have a boiled potato. I love it. And you put a little bit of butter on it.
Okay.
And if you want to have a special dish, you let the potatoes go cold, and then you cut them in pieces and put a bit of butter in the pan and throw them in with some onion, and that's the best. Good.
Okay.
I don't like baked potatoes.
Okay. Okay. What other foods? What about candy and stuff like that as a child in Holland?
Oh yeah, candy. Oh yeah, and Dutch licorice. Woohoo! It's something that's it's familiar to the Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Holland. They have that taste of salted licorice, which no one in the world seems to like. I've tried it on people here, and they go, they don't know how quick to spit it out. I do it sometimes for fun. I said, do you want to have some Dutch licorice? And they go, oh yeah. And they put it in their mouth, and then I look at their face, and they don't know what to do. I said, you can spit it out. It's okay. Like, because they don't want to offend me by saying it's awful. I said, I know you don't like it. If you want to spit it out, do so. But I love it. It's very rare that people love my salted licorice. And for the rest, we've got, lollies are pretty much the same all over the world, I think. Boiled lollies and, like, nowadays, Mars bars and everything is the same. But the salted licorice is definitely Northern Europe. Like, you don't find it anywhere. So, I don't know what else. I'm thinking, what else is there?
Okay.
I don't know. We didn't eat much meat either. like in those days, especially after the war again, there wasn't much money. There wasn't much. And I remember we ate some horse meat. Like people go, what? Horse meat? Yeah, we had a horse good time. And I remember the meat being sweet. I don't think I liked it. But that's about the only thing I can think of with the food bits. Can't think of anything else. So, is that it? I don't know. Can you think of something else I should talk about? I can't. Still there? Hello? Can't hear you. Can hear me, but I can't hear you. So, by the way, seafood, that's another thing. Everyone here loves seafood. And I noticed everyone in Florida loves seafood. I'm not a lover of seafood. Sorry to disappoint you all. I'm not that keen on seafood. I can eat a bit of grilled fish. I've tasted lobster, which was all right. But I'm not into prawns and all the other creepy things. And in the beginning, when I saw prawn, because we don't eat much prawns in Holland, and when I saw them here in Australia, they had those big things with tentacles and little eyes, and I couldn't even. But then I'm a bit crazy that way, so no prawns for me. I like spicy food. I like Mexican food. I love Mexican food. I love Chinese. I love curries. The best food of all is Indonesian, but it's very hard to get. There's not many shops that sell proper Indonesian food, because that's the stuff I really like. Because I grew up with Indonesian food, because Indonesia was belonged to Holland at the time. They've got their independence now, but in the days that I grew up, to Holland, and we had a lot of Indonesian people. I had Indonesian kids in my class, and they were just my friends. I remember two of them were called Irene. That was funny. We used to have fun and games, but the food was beautiful. I used to love it when they invited me over to their place. Yes, please. So, I still love my spicy food. And here, I do love pizza. Oh dear, bad, isn't it? But I do love pizza. Absolutely. It's not that healthy, but I love it. And as I love a lot of junk food, but I'm starting to eat better. I was brought up properly because Mom and Dad, they used to, in those days already, used to get, they went to a special place that people don't spray the food with chemicals. They used to eat real healthy. So I was brought up with knowing all the right things, but that's often more expensive. So when I had a family myself, I couldn't afford that, so I ate what everyone else ate. But every now and then that health back in, and I go healthy for a while, and then back to old habits. Not good. But I'm on the right track at the moment, so thank you, Barbara. You're setting a good example. So that helps too. Is there anything else you would like to know? Can't hear you.
He leads me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. When you become a believer, your spirit is made right. But sometimes the soul doesn't get the notice. It has a hole in it due to things that's happened in the past, hurt, abuse, molestation. But we want to speak to you today and tell you that God wants to heal the hole in your soul. Some people's actions are not because their spirit is wrong, but it's because the past has left a hole in their soul. May this wisdom help you get over your past and remind you that God wants to heal the hole in your soul. I have my sister Leandria here. She's going to help me share this wisdom and tell this story.
Deliver me, 'cause all I seem to do is hurt me, hurt.
Trust in